This is StoryRobot. Welcome to r/prorevenge. Our first story of today was 5 minutes worth 30% of your global market. So I used to live in Deutschland, and upon returning to fair Blighty, the UK, I began looking for work. Being a simple man of simple needs, I quickly found employment in the marketing department for a medium-sized industrial manufacturer. It was a little below my experience level and qualifications, but I take what I can get, because I am a simple man. At the final interview, I mentioned it would be top banana if I could arrive 5 minutes early and leave 5 minutes early on most days, so I could catch my train. With a smile, my new boss, hereafter referred to as Mentirosa, said of course, it's only 5 minutes and I'd still be working the full 8 hours. Sin problemas, anpasung bureau, and welcome aboard. My first day comes and I ride the choo-choo all the way to my new workplace, eager to begin. I quickly learned that the lunchroom is pure stank. Senior staff put their name instead of mine on any trade article when get published, and that our job mostly consists of extorting money from our own sales staff, but that's life. I am a simple man and so I set about my labors, glad to earn a crust. What really flogged my noggin, however, is La Mentirosa calling me into her office on my second day and telling me I can't leave early again because it is unprofessional. I remind her of the conversation we had in which she said, with her mouth, the words, "It will be no problem for you to arrive and leave 5 minutes early." She smirks and replies, "Maybe I said that, but is that written in your contract?" Touché, you big old Mentirosa, touché. I shrug and get on with life, because that's life, but of course I start looking for other work. By making me stay the 5 minutes, La Mentirosa makes me miss my train and turns my 2 hours daily commute into a 4-hour one. No my friend, I do not want this. I'm a simple man and need my downtime. About 2 weeks later, the company goes on a firing spree. One of those people fired is me, because I have been quite openly looking for other work. I am given 2 weeks' notice and smugly told I am not good enough for this place, and that I will never work in the area again because of La Mentirosa's contacts. As she Snapchats this news to the rest of the team, I joke not, I reflect that she is probably right, as I am a simple man. Among the other victims of the purge, is the regional sales manager for Germany. This is more important to the company than my meaningless departure, since the company also decided to end the contract with their biggest German distributor, and so suddenly a huge part of the company's core market is not active and they have no salesman to find them a new distributor. Management panics until La Mentirosa remembers that her despised marketing bandit is a fluent German speaker, and so the fun begins. She asks me to step up to the plate. Be a buddy old pal, I didn't mean it when I said you'd never work in this town again. I am a simple man, so rather than point out that I am not being paid anywhere near what I could earn as a translator, rather than remind them that they have just fired me and I am not their friend anymore, rather than asking, is it written in my contract? And then smirking like an obnoxious dingwall on a high horse made of douche, I instead swallow my pride and agree to help out. It is here that the twin revenges, named inadequacy and abandonment, make their entrance. Firstly, inadequacy. During every conversation I mention my job title, advertising assistant. When the friendly Teutons politely ask why a lowly assistant is negotiating this kind of deal, I simply explain that the regional manager was let go and there is no formal replacement. This is entirely true, but is also a huge red flag for any serious company, especially well-established German manufacturing firms, and combined with the temporary uncertainty regarding Brexit, which had been announced only a few days prior, was enough to kill any interest they had in becoming our next distributor. Secondly, abandonment. As I am a simple man, I forgot to tell La Mentirosa that I had already received, and accepted, another job offer. She was thrilled at the praises she was getting from management for finding a stopgap solution to the catastrophic damage they had done themselves, and she asked me if I could actually stay on with the company until they secured a new distributor, since I obviously had nothing better to do with my time, being fired and all. I assured her there were no hard feelings over my firing, and that I would stay to help as long as I could. On the day I was originally due to leave, I held my calls, drew up a summary of where we stood, it was effectively a sad emoji followed by a poop emoji, handed it to La Mentirosa and explained I was leaving to enjoy a week of holiday followed by starting a new job in a different field. She sputtered. She couldn't believe it. She thought I would stay longer to help clean up the mess. They still had no distributor and no sales manager for Germany. They were hemorrhaging money. She called me out, reminding me that I had said I would stay, but I am a simple man and so my only reply was, maybe I said that, but is that written in my contract? Our final story of today is, the girl Friday with the PhD takes over the business from ungrateful owner. My spouse was the second person hired at a consulting company in a very specialized industry. In her 15 years with the firm, it grew to a respectable 3-office, 8 to 10 employees at each location entity. She and the owner grew the business on the contacts, expertise and presentation of my wife. to the extent that my wife's abilities and education were the main reason new business came through the door. Over the years her scope of responsibility grew so that the owner was basically 75% absent and mostly unaware of day-to-day activity. As he got more and more removed from the business, he would make overtures that he would eventually retire and sell her the business. He was so dependent on her income generating that he took out a life insurance policy on her. I did not involve myself too much, but at a major industry dinner party I attended with her, he introduced my wife to the table as my girl Friday, basically a secretary, which was weird. Over the years she tried to get an agreement in place to buy the firm, even if it was years away. He always delayed and made promises but never followed through. I told her, "This guy doesn't respect you or your contribution. He will never sell you the business because there is no reason to. He can make more money by stringing you along, and essentially, you are the business, why would he sell it to you?" One day out of the blue, my wife received a raise and bonus, a very minor amount of money, and a contract that included a non-compete, non-disclosure agreement. After reading it, she realized that the owner was trying to lock her down from leaving for another firm. She had been getting feelers from other companies. To make things even more suspicious, she received a call from a competitor who said they were in final stages of due diligence and they wanted to meet her. The beep hole was selling the company and didn't think to tell her or ask if she was interested in buying it. She ignored the agreement and there were no other agreements in place. She was totally free. My wife is extremely loyal. She has missed so many special days working for this guy, stuck around when they were wobbly, even skipped paychecks when there were tough financial times. She was furious, the absolute maddest I've ever seen her. We discussed starting her own firm and I asked, how much business is contractually obligated to stay there if you leave? It turned out that most agreements were either handshakes or 30-day at will. I also asked how many would leave with you. She said about 75%, including her biggest source of revenue who didn't even know the owner. In a very short time, my wife took a 3-week vacation. She had months of unused time. During which time she rented an office in the same building, and made all the arrangement to set up a new shop. She agreed to leave any and all company property behind and do her best to give the old company no obvious ammo for litigation. She called her clients and said, "I'm leaving. If you want to look into relocating your account with my new company, you'll need to quit the old one before we can discuss it." Most understood the implication. While she was on vacation, she received a panicked call from her boss. "We lost XYZ company, do you know anything about it?" She said, "I'm sorry, but I just sent you an email, I've resigned. All my keys and company stuff is on my desk. Bye-bye." The new firm took basically 90% the business and seamlessly transitioned into the same company as it was before, but with a new owner. Even most of the office staff would come aboard. Within a year, her old company closed down except for the small office her old boss ran. She sees him once in a while and he just scowls at her. Thank you for watching. Error. Problem detected. Not enough subscribers. Please subscribe, like and comment.